Hello and welcome to this video cast for subscribers to davylack.com. I had an email recently from Luke Rudkowski in New York, and Luke, of course, has become well known for doorstepping infamous people like Henry Kissinger, Jacob Rothschild, and others. And the email was about the fact that he wants to launch a training program for uh, people who want to do something similar to him or want to get into the reporting side of alternative information. And it's a great idea. And I found very clearly from the time that I was working full time with the People's Voice just how vital it is to train people who have the skills to communicate and have the skills to hold these people to account by knowing how you get close to them, knowing how the system works, and basically being a journalist with an alternative view and knowledge of the world. There's been a lot of myths and misunderstandings about my connection to the People's Voice. I guess I understand it because my name's been associated with it, that I run it and have run it since the start. I haven't. I don't. I could never, on top of everything else, take that level of commitment on. What I did was, first of all, have the idea to create it. I helped to raise the money to make it happen, and of course, it's now been broadcasting 24 hours a day, suppressed information, since November last year, which is an extraordinary achievement from an idea that was only about this time last year. Uh, my commitment was to volunteer to work with the station full time from about September through to uh, the end of February, um, and get the content together. That was my role: getting content together, getting presenters who could, front the programs. And when you've got a blank sheet of paper and 24 hours of data fill, that's quite a challenge. But it happened. And the reason I mention all this is that it was in that uh, period, with that experience of putting the initial content together, that it just hit me just what a massive hole there is to fill in terms of expanding the communication of this information through the alternative media, in terms of people who have some understanding of the world beyond the mainstream, be it some understanding or a lot of understanding, and and on the other side have the television skills and the communication skills to effectively communicate that information. There seems to be more with that dual capability in America, but then again, there's a lot more people in America. And certainly in Britain, from my experience, we need a lot more people who can both see the world and see another angle on world events and be able to communicate it effectively in televisual terms. So I'm absolutely with Luke on what he's trying to achieve. And if you Google him or go to We Are Change New York, I'm sure you'll find the details of what he's seeking to do. Very, very important. But what I want to do today is go to another level of this, which is to get the information circulating. Yes, we need people who have a knowledge of it and have the skills to communicate it in the way I've been describing. But there's another great block on the circulation of this knowledge and the communication of it from people who've become aware. And that is the emotional side of it, like dealing with the abuse and the ridicule when you start giving a different version of world events, different version of life and reality. And this is not just, for the people like me who stand up and speak out and get all the abuse and ridicule. I'm also talking about people who feel intimidated about talking to their family and their workmates and the people down the pub or the bar about their view of everything and their different view of the world and what's going on. So in this week's video cast, I mean, I've been on this road 25 years and I've, to say the least, taken just a little bit of abuse and ridicule. And so what I want to do in this video cast is just pass on a bit of the experience that I've had in how to deal with the intimidation that so many people feel when it comes to speaking out in a world that, or in an environment that doesn't want to hear.